Jai Hind everyone. My name is Pooja Pandey and I am the assistant professor in MCA department in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. And today I am going to deliver a lecture on the topic Career Sense Multiple Axis, that is CSMA and its variant. And this topic mainly comes in the computer networks and in the AKTU University, its code is BMC 303. Now, when we are talking about the carrier sense multiple axis and its variant, we should know that this topics come under the topic, you can say it's come under the topic that is your data link control, medium access control. Okay, and then it after that it belongs to a part in data link control, and then again it belongs to a part that is your random access protocol. It means that any channels, many devices, the channels, the stations, or you can say the devices have their own right or have their own time, or you can say they can pass the message, or they can share the same channel at a time. They can send the data at a time. Two channels, or you can say two station will send there at randomly. They will say they don't have any specific time. So that is in the random access protocol. So why we need this? We need because when many devices share the same channel at the same time, the collision occur. So main aim of the CSMA is to improve this collision, or you can say it to reduce the collision, and it improves the network performance, you say, or you can say it it controls the bandwidth, it improves the bandwidth, our bandwidth of the network. So the main principle of the carrier sense multiple access is that you have to sense before transmit. That means that is the principle of the CSMA is sense before the transmit. It means that you have to listen first, then send. That it also means, again I am going to elaborate this line, it means that you have to wait and you have to sense that the path is channel is free or not. If the channel is free, then only you have to send, you have to transmit the message, right? So that is mean the listen first and then send, right? Now, when we are coming on the topic that carrier sense multiple access, that is CSMA, we know that earlier we have discussed why the CSMA. See, in the random access protocol, when we are talking about the random access protocol, stations, or you can say the every station or various stations transmit their message at the same time, at the same collision, at the same channel, right? So, and because of that, you say, because of this reason, many times the collision occur. So to increase, so you can say to reduce the collision, and when the collision occur, mainly the you can say the thing is that our performance decreases or our bandwidth is lost, right? Our bandwidth is not happening. So that is why what we are doing, that in the carrier sense multiple access is simply is used to reduce the collision and improve the performance. So that is, you have to see. And how can we use that CSMA? We can use the CSMA because it works on the rule that you have to sense before the transmit. That is, you have to listen first and then talk. Okay. Now, in CSMA, each station, you can say, each station checks, when we are applying the CSMA logic, we have to check each station, we have to check on each station that channel is ideal or busy. Okay, when the channel is ideal, you can send the message, you can transmit the message, but if the channel is busy, you have to wait for your time. So this is the way we use in the CSMA. But then also we say that the collision is still possible. The collision is still possible. Why? Because when we are due to the propagation delay. Now here comes the topic, that is, what do you mean by the propagation delay? Propagation delay is that, if I explain in a simple terms, that let us suppose that this is a station A, this is a station B, right? And this is a transmission medium. Okay. For the propagation delay, I am explaining. So, whenever the packet is transmitting, let us suppose that these packets are transmitting from sender A to sender B, or host A to host B, right? Now, when the last packet, we calculate the propagation delay is that whatever the time the last packet takes at the receiver to reach the receiver side or the host B is termed as your propagation delay. So, we are calculating that delay also, that suppose that we are sending the message from A to Z, right? So, we will calculate how much time the Z packet has taken from to reach the station A, or you can say the host B. So, that is the meaning of the propagation delay. So, collision also occur because of this propagation delay. For example, this is a channel. If you say this is a channel, let us suppose that A is also transmitting, right, and B is also transmitting. Now, this is a you can say the another host. Now, when the A transmit is packets, so let us suppose that A is here is a packet which is coming from the A side, right? Now, B is also sending. B has sensed that this path is empty, or you can say the system is ideal, right? Now, B sent the packet, but this last packet of the A, host A, takes a certain time. So, whenever the packet B reaches here, it get the collision occur, right? So, that is the reason why the collision occur due to the propagation delay. And this is the reason, in spite of taking a very careful, or we are taking the system, that the system should not, if the channel is ideal or busy before sending, then also due to the propagation delay, the collision occur. Okay, a station, because why? The station may think that channel is free because another signal hasn't arrived yet. So, that is the reason of the collision. So, mainly we have to understand till now that CSMA, in the random access protocol, each station send their data at the specific at the same channel and at the same time, right? So, they don't check, and in the random access protocol, none of the stations are checking that the station is busy or ideal. Without checking, they are simply sending. So, that is the cause of the collision. So, till this PPT, you have to understand that to remove that collision or to avoid that collision, we are using the CSMA, because in that we are checking that station is, or you can say the channel is ideal or not. Okay. Now, the problem is that till now we have understood that what is CSMA, right? Now, the question comes in our mind that why we are using the CSMA, or why CSMA. See, in the network, many computers share the same channel, right? We know in network, we cannot provide that each network or each thing has got the separate channel. Sometimes we use the same channel. So, that is why when two computers send the data at the same time, the signal, what happened to the signal? The signals collide, and because of that, our data is lost, you say. Now, you say the data is lost, and due to this, what happened when collision occur? Collision normally wastes our time, because energy is also waste. You say that collision wastes our time, bandwidth and the energy, because why? Because whatever the data has been lost at the time of the collision, we have to send it again. We have to reset the data again. So, we need a smarter way. That is where the CSMA comes in our. What is CSMA? See, CSMA means that CSMA simply stands for the reason that is your carrier sense multiple access. So, the rule is very simple. Whenever we listen to the class, we are going in the, in the class, when we ask questions to our students, sometimes the two students or whole class without listening, they simply answer. But so we have to avoid that. So, the rule is simple for the CSMA, that we have to listen before you talk. That means you have to check the channel is busy or idle before releasing the signal. That means that each computer has to first check whether the channel is free, And if it is free, it will transmit, but if it is busy, it will wait. It will wait for its turn. So this reduces the collision. Okay. Okay, we can say that 90% of the cases it reduces the collision, but it does not completely eliminate them. We have discussed that. Why? Because of the propagation delay, because there is always a slight delay in the sensing signal. That is why we cannot say, or you can say the 99% we can solve the problem of the collision, but 1% we are unable to solve the problem of the collision because of the delay in the signals or delay in the sensing signals, right? Now the big questions comes in our mind that if the channel is busy, what should a station do? Okay, now a main question come, or you can say if the channel is free, then how should it transmit? It doesn't mean that you will transmit the data simply with, okay, I'm sending. We have to check. Now, when we are checking that the channel is busy or idle, now the question comes in our mind, how we are transmitting our signals or how we are sending our data on that channel so that the collision cannot occur. So, right. So, for that we are using the different strategies. The first one is your one persistent, non-persistent and the P persistent, right? So, for one persistent, you will say it is a very simple and the straightforward method. In this method, you say that after the station find that the line is ideal, you say in the one persistent, it is continuously sensing. See, sense and transmit. Okay, now this line is free. So, we are again sensing and transmitting. So, in this method, after the station is finding the line is ideal, it will send the frame immediately with the probability of the 1. Now, this method has the highest chance of the collision because 2 or more station find the line in the same time they will find, because 2 different station will find that same channel free, right? And at the same time, they will say or you can say they will send their message at the same channel and it will occur, it will lead to the collision. So, this slightly you can say with the probability of the 1, it solves the problem, but not more. So, for this we have come to the next part, that is your non-persistent CSMA. In the non-persistent CSMA, we see that if the channel is ideal, you say the station transmits, right? And if it is busy, the station does not keep, if it is busy, the station does not keep waiting. Instead, it waits for the random amount of the time before checking again, right? You say that, again I am repeating, that if the channel, you will say in this diagram, it is very clear that if the channel is free, right, we simply will, the station will transmit its signals, simply it will transmit, right? But if it is busy, what will the station will do? So, station is not simply waiting for its turn, but it is it is checking, or you can say it waits for a random amount of the time before checking again. So, this reduces the collision because not everyone will try at the same time, right? But sometime even when the channel is free, some station may still be waiting, so efficiency is lower. So, like if someone is speaking, for example, you can say if someone is speaking, if someone is asking, if someone is talking to you and without giving up an answer, you leave the classroom or you leave that room and then after some time you come back later. So, what will happen? The person is, already has sent the signal, right? And your channel is not idle, right? So, that is why we can say the collision occur. Now, when we are talking about the P persistent CSMA, it's a very good, you can say it is a very good method for using the, one of the strategies how we are using the CSMA. Why? Because we have simply divided our work with, you can say, with the, we have divided the time slot. We have divided the time slot. Okay, at this time, this will pass. At this time, this will come. Okay. So, if the channel is ideal, a station transmit with the probability of P. Now, with probability 1 minus P, it waits for the next slot and checks this again. So, that is why our collision is reduced in the CSMA, and whenever the collision is reduced, you say our efficiency is improved compared to the other, right? Now, if I am going to take the analogy, if I am going to take the, you say, if I am going to take the analogy, ठीक है, when you ask a questions, when you ask a questions in your classroom, this what the students do, they simply raise your hand. Now sometimes the teacher picks you and sometimes not. Okay, so not everyone are speaking at the once. So that is the same analogy we are using in the case of the P persistent CSMA. Now the question comes with the, again in next we will see that how we can come with the better option, how the collision is detected. Now we are finding that collision is occurring. Now the question comes, in the network we have to detect where the collision is occurring. So this is used, you can say this is used in the wired network. CSMA with the collision detection is normally used in the wired networks called the Ethernet. Now here the station is keep listening to the channel while sending. They are checking the system is, or your channel is busy or it is ideal. Now if it detects a collision, it will stops immediately. Right, it will stops immediately, waits for the random backup time and then transmit. Now here in this diagram you will see that when we are discussing that, here are the some stations are there, right? Now if you see that a collision is occurring, here you say that collision is occurring, right? Now whatever and here you are saying that now here is collision is occur. Now how we are detecting the collision, this in this diagram it is very clear that the message is transmitting from the A, right? Now transmission line is going here, it is of A, just you can say T1 is going here. Now at the same time the station C is also sending here. So here what we are doing, it is detecting that may be possible the your detection may occur, so it will stop here only, right? It will stop here only, waits for its random time and then it will retransmit. So mainly this procedure in this diagram, you will see that it saves the time, because we don't need to send the whole frame if there is a collision. But for this work, the frame must be, you say that this frame must be long enough so that the sender should detect a collision before finishing the transmission. This should be keep in mind that our frame, the frame size must be long enough so that the sender can, so that the sender, whatever the host A is sending its data to the at the host D, it should be the long frame. So we can find out where the collision is detecting and we can take the preliminary action to avoid that collision. For example, we can say that when two people start talking at the same time, and in the classroom, when a teacher asks a question to the students, you see that simply 4, 5, 6 students start giving the answer at the same time. Now, it is very unable for the teacher to find out which one is right. So, again, the students himself or themselves, they realize that they are now giving up the answer and it is not suitable because the collision is occurring in their giving up the answer. Though simply only one child is speaking, or you can say one student is speaking at that time to the teacher, but other students are waiting. So that is the analogy we are using in the CSMA with the collision detection. Now, when we are talking about the solution, now we have what is CSMA. We have find out that what is CSMA, right? Now we have find out what is detection. CSMA with the detection, we have detected the that here our collision is occurring. Now we have to find out that how to avoid that collision. So in Ethernet, in the wired network like the Ethernet, you see the CSMA CD works because the signal strength is such. This you have to clear in your mind when you are studying in the introduction of the computer networks. We study that Ethernet, that is IEEE 80 2.11, right? So this is basically is mainly used in the transmission medium, because in the Ethernet our signal strength is very strong. So collision must almost double the energy on the channel, since it is very in the wired network, the Ethernet uh, is very strong, or you can say it's got very good properties. So in that the signal strength is strong. Signal strength is strong. Now if the signal strength is strong, the collision must be double. So we can double the energy on the channel. So we can easily detect that where the collision is occurring. But the problem comes in our mind in the you can say in the wired network, we can easily find out, okay, here the collision is occurring. The problem comes when when we are talking about the wireless network. Here the signal weakens is as it travel. The signals are very weak whenever the travel. Sometimes the signals are coming, sometimes the signal is not coming. So we are unable to find out the where the collision is occurring. So we can say that the received signal is very low in energy. Now, if the two station transmit at the same time, there will be an increase of energy. Okay, so the increase in energy is very small, maybe just 5 to 10%. Then also we cannot easily detect the collision. So in Wi-Fi, mainly instead of detecting the collision, we normally try to avoid them, right? So this is called as your CSMA CD. This is mainly used for, you can say this is mainly we apply when we are talking about the wireless network. In the wired network, we can easily find out that our collision is occurring. Problem is that when there is a wireless network, we are unable to find out that where the collision is occurring, right? Now, there are the three strategies, if you say that for using the CSMA, or you can see the collision avoidance. The first one is your interframe space, that is your IFS. Whenever the channel is free, it will wait for the small time, right, before sending. So the station with the shorter IFS will we get the higher priority, right? Now, concatenation window. The station choose a random number of slots to wait before the retrieving. If it is still phase, the window size doubles to reduce the future collision. Now, acknowledgement. We normally know when we normally know that when we are sending our data to or when we are sending our frame from sender to receiver, we will only able to find out that our message has been received by the receiver when the receiver sends an acknowledgement. Now if the sender does not get the acknowledgement, it should be known that the frame must be reset. So these are the three strategies we are saying that we are using for the avoiding the collision in the CSMA right? Now, when we are talking about the control access protocol, we have to study, because these are the variants, right? So when we are talking about the control access protocol, in the control access protocol, the stations, the 2 or 3 stations, you will say, they are coordinating with each other, so that only one station transmits at a time and the collision in shared channel. So this is a method. Earlier we were discussing how what will happen when the collision will there, how we are detecting it, how we are avoiding it. Now in the control access protocol, we say that the stations automatically coordinate with each other, that only one station will transmit at a time. So when let us suppose this A is transmitting the channel, then the B will not transmit at that time. It will wait for its turn. So they have automatically they have got their you can say they have got their coordination. Now, the most important common methods when we are talking about the control access protocol, it is reservation, polling, and the token passing, right? So when we are talking about the reservation, and that is a bitmap protocol, in this how it is working, we will see that. In this, the time is simply we have split into the intervals. Now, the each interval, if you are seeing this, each interval, what we are doing, each interval starts with some reservation frames, and these reservation frames, you can say, contains the mini slots. They already have got the mini slots, one per station. Now, if the station wants to send it, it will mark its mini slot. For example, there are the 5 mini slots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they are the mini slots. Okay. Now, if the station 1, you can say the station 1 and the station 3, station 1 and station 3 want to send their data, they will set their respective slots in the revision for this, and only these stations are allowed to send in that interval, and the other remain will be silent. Okay. So, that is in the case of your reservation, or you can say in the bitmap protocol. Now, it is a collision free because since all the station know that who has been reserved, so that is why the transmissions are coming in the orderly way. So, collisions are fully avoided. Now, what are the operation steps we are taking? In the before the transmission, you say they are divided into the n slots for the n stations. Now, if the station wants to transmit, it will send 1 bits in its slot. If not, it will send 0. Once all the slots has been checked, stations that made reservation transmit their frames in the order you say, right? And it will indicate the bitmap you are saying. Now, the next reservation interval begin after all reserved frames are set, right? Now, when we are talking about the polling, polling is a control access protocol when you say that where one device is designated as your primary station. Here, this one device is stationed as your primary station, and the other one is your secondary one. The primary station, you see that it controls the communication channel, and it will decide that which station, which secondary station will be, can send the data at the given time, right? So, in the polling, you will say that it will send a poll message to each secondary station in a fixed order, that it will ask that if it has to send the data or not. If the secondary data has, let us suppose that if secondary station doesn't have any data, it will send your negative acknowledgement, right? And if it has got the, you can say it has got the data, then it will send your positive acknowledgement, right? So, that is in the case. Now, this process ensures that only one station can communicate at a time. So, when one station is communicating at a time, the result is that it is avoiding the collisions, and it will organize the channel efficiently. Now, the last part is your token passing. In the token passing method, you see is in this diagram that all the stations are connected in the logical ring, where each one has its predecessor and a successor, right? Now, a special token, when you are talking about the token, a special control packet called a token moves around into the ring. It is moving around you can say this token is moving here, it is moving here, its direction has been shown, how the token has been passing. Now, if a station has a data, it waits for the token and send its data, and then passes the token forward, right? If it has not, the station has no data, it will simply passes the token to the next station. Now, this token passes only ensures that only one station uses a channel at a time. It will avoid the collision, right? So, token ring LAN by IBM, token bus LAN, IEEE standard, and high speed version like FTDI are using this method. Okay. So, this is in the case of the token passing. So thank you all. We have discussed in this presentation, we have discussed the CSMA and its variant. Hope you have understand, and we will meet in the further.